Good morning, everyone. It's the Atascosa County Commissioners Court regular meeting, August 12th, 2024. All commissioners and myself are present, and we welcome everybody for this morning. And we're going to have the first item on the agenda is going to be a prayer and pledge of allegiance.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this court this morning. We thank you for the blessings. We need much needed rain. Please help us on that. And Father, I just ask you to be with this county and continue to guide and protect it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item number 3 on the agenda is public comments. Does anyone wish to speak for public comments this morning? Second call. Anybody wish to speak for public comments? Sir, you want to come up, Wes? Have you signed in the form? Okay. What? Okay. Okay, you want to wait for Brittany's item? Okay. It'll be in a minute. All right. Last call for public comments. Okay, no public comments. Item number 4, Stephanie Brown, discuss to take appropriate action concerning personnel. New employee, Travis Kiner, position Assistant Public Defender, pay rate is $65,000 annually. Salary budget area is 012-488-403. Start date will be August 19th, 2024. Physical and drug tests are pending.
Good morning, everyone. Travis Kiner is the result of a successful internship program from last summer. Thankfully, we were able to hire someone who interned and did a great job. He's done such a wonderful job of coming in on all of his breaks prior to graduating from law school to show us that he was serious about taking this position. So we are very happy to add him to our team.
Motion made by Commissioner Gillespie.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Riley. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. Just is that a little loud this morning? Okay, work. All right, next item is new employee, Aracio, is that right? Araceli. Garcia, position, Assistant Public Defender, pay rate is $65,000 annually. Salary budget area 012-488-403. Start date will also be August 19th, and physical and drug tests are pending.
Araceli is also a recent hire from law school. She and Travis both just took the bar a couple of weeks ago, and we are looking forward to having her join our team. And we are one person away from having a successful full office after these 2 hires.
Motion made by Commissioner Pettis.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Gillespie. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Everyone have a good day.
You too. Number 5 is Sheriff Sauer, discuss to take appropriate action concerning personnel. New employee, Luis Carmona, position Deputy Sheriff, Tier 2, $56,000 annually, $171 fluctuating, $120 uniform allowance, $175 holiday pay, 90-day county probation, 1-year agency probation with incentive pay. Salary budget area is 012-440-410. Start date will be August the 15th, and physical and drug tests are pending. Sheriff?
Yes, I've hired Luis Carmona as a deputy sheriff, tier 2 salary with incentive pay and benefits listed on the agenda. His start date will be today, August 15th. No, it's Wednesday, August 15th. And physical and drug tests are pending.
Motion made by Commissioner Pettis.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Riley. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Next, existing employee, Malaya Sotelo, position corrections officer. Pay rate moved to Tier 1, $51,000 annually, $171 fluctuating, $120 uniform allowance, $150 holiday pay. Continue the 1-year agency probation. The salary budget area is 012-442-562. And the start date would be August the 15th, 2024. Physical and drug test not applicable.
Ms. Sotelo has completed her 90-day probationary period and obtained her corrections officer's license, so therefore she's being moved up to Tier 1 salary.
Motion made by Commissioner Pettis,
Second?
seconded by Commissioner Bowen. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Next is new employee Dan Garza, Corrections Officer, Tier 3, $47,000 annually, $120 uniform allowance, $150 holiday pay, $171 fluctuating, 90-day continued probation and 1-year agency probation. The salary budget there is 012-442-562. Start date would be 8/15/2024. Physical and drug test are pending.
Hired Mr. Garza as correction officer at Tier 3. The benefits listed in the agenda. Physical and drug test are pending. Start date is August 15th.
Motion made by Commissioner Gillespie. Seconded by Commissioner Pettis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Next, we have existing employee Emily Gonzalez, Corrections Officer, moved to Tier 2, $49,000 annually, $120 uniform allowance, $150 holiday pay, 171 fluctuating hours, continue the 1-year agency probation. Salary budget area is 012-442-562. Start date would be August 15th, 2024. Physical and drug test not applicable.
Ms. Gonzalez, a correction officer, being moved up to Tier 2 upon completion of 90-day probationary period, effective August 15th.
Motion made by Commissioner Gillespie. Seconded by Commissioner Pettis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you all.
Next, we have Treasurer Laura Pavelic, discuss or take appropriate action to approve the July 2024 Treasury Report and publish in the Pleasanton Express newspaper and the county website. Good morning, Ms. Pavelic.
Good morning. That's just what I said, what you said. I need permission to publish in the Pleasanton Express and on our website.
Motion made by Commissioner Gillespie,
Second?
seconded by Commissioner Bowen. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item we have is number 7, Teresa Carrasco, discuss or take appropriate action to approve the Commissioners Court minutes for May 2024. Ms. Carrasco?
Yes, I just asked for y'all to approve the May minutes. I sent them out last week.
Motion made by Commissioner Pettis. Seconded by Commissioner Riley. Is any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, number 8, Brittany Van Kuren, discuss or take appropriate action concerning the approval or denial of the Connectee?
Sure.
Okay. Addition subdivision located on Duncan Road in Precinct 1. Good morning, Ms. Van Kuren.
I'm really sorry. I don't know how to say it either, and I asked the engineer, and he also wasn't entirely sure. So that sounds like a great option. This has met all the requirements of my office, and I recommend approval.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Gillespie,
Second?
seconded by Commissioner Bowen. Is any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Number 9, Brittany Van Kuren, discuss or take appropriate action to A, conduct a public hearing concerning the replat of Whitfield Hills subdivision, lots 15 and 16 in Precinct 4, Atascosa County Road 431. We're going to have a public hearing at this time. It is 9:09 a.m. and public hearing is now open. Does anybody wish to speak in the public hearing comments? Mr. Shahan, come up here, please. Please state your name for the record, Wes.
Who I am?
Yeah, I know, but please state your name for the record.
I'm Wes Shahan. I am a landowner within 200 feet of the proposed replat of the subdivision. It's right across the road from one of my gates. And my concern with it, I did not knowing what was going on with this, we received the letter in the mail, certified letter regarding this. We didn't know if it was going to be resold, if it was going to be, if a landfill was going to come in, if a neighbor was buying it. We just didn't know, and that's why I was trying to come here to find out. I think a couple of my questions have been answered. since I got here, but it was just a concern. We didn't know what was going to be going on with it. We didn't know if it was going to set a precedent for dividing up all those 10-acre tracts that are left on the road to the west. Everything has been 10-acre tracts nearly to the end of the road. And I know the history of it, 'cause we've had the property for 50 years. With the REO deal, everything being in the savings and loan deal back in the 80s. So when they divided it up, everything was supposed to stay in 10-acre tracts. I am aware that there was a couple of them that weren't platted correctly in years past. Now, I don't have a problem with anything being changed up, being divided up, if it's going to be for personal residential use. I just didn't want it to be in, somewhere down the road. Okay, they divided this property up, and then this next guy comes along and says, okay, we're going to divide her up in little 1-acre tracts and put mobile homes on there. And that was my fear and my concern. So take it as you see it. So, thank you.
Yeah. Ms. Van Kuren, can you answer some of those questions?
Yes, sir. So this is the individual who currently owns these. There's 2 different lots that he owns, so for a total of close to 20 acres. He is selling a majority of that property to a neighbor to expand that gentleman's ranch. He is retaining 3 acres for himself and his residence, with the understanding that when he passes, the neighbor will also purchase that 3 acres. I can't speak to any further division of any of the other lots in this subdivision. If that were to ever happen, that would be something that would come back again before Commissioners Court and have a separate public hearing. But for these particular lots, we are not dividing it into a quote-unquote subdivision as most people think of a subdivision. This is simply one gentleman selling ranch land to a neighbor, retaining a small portion for his residential home, with the understanding that that neighbor would also purchase that additional 3 acres that's being retained at a later date.
Okay. Any further discussion, or anybody else wish to speak in the public hearing? Last call, anybody wish to speak in the public hearing? Okay, it's 9:12 a.m. and I declare the public hearing closed. Item B, discuss and take appropriate action concerning the approval of the replat of the Woodfield Hills subdivision, lots 15 and 16 in precinct 4 on County Road 431.
Yes, sir. It's met all the requirements in my office, and I recommend approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Riley. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Gillespie. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 10, Justin Vasquez, discuss and take appropriate action concerning the accepting quote from ESRI for renewal of license for the ArcGIS for the Sheriff's Office, an amount of $2,943.30. Authorize the county judge to sign the Texas DIR CPO 4699 customer addendum pending review of the county attorney.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. This, I would normally just send in the purchase order, and they would send me an invoice. Sheriff would sign off on it. We pay it. I did have this customer addendum attached to it's a agreement with DIR. Trent's already looked at it and approved it, so I also recommend approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Gillespie, seconded by Commissioner Pettis. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez. Number 11, Commissioner Riley, discuss and take appropriate action to approve a road board permit for Pillar EFS LLC at the Black Hill Road and County Road 103. A check in the amount of $500 has been turned over to the Atascosa County Treasurer's Office. Commissioner?
Yes, I've been checking this property. Actually, what the road board is going from a private property through a culvert pipe into private property. So I move for approval of this.
Motion made by Commissioner Riley, seconded by Commissioner Pettis. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Number 12, Commissioner Riley, discuss and take appropriate action to approve a lay flat line permit for Pillar EFS LLC. The water line will enter County Road 419 for 1.72 miles northwest of the intersection of 541. It will run along the fence line within the easement of County Road 419 for 1.33 miles then through the easement of Lucas Road for .062 miles, then turn right on Trace Creek Road for 0.71 miles for entering the property. A check in the amount of $1,500 been turned over to the Atascosa County Treasurer's Office. Commissioner?
Yes, sir, also, and look at this, and I move for approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Riley. Seconded by Commissioner Gillespie. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Number 13, Commissioner Riley, discuss and take appropriate action to approve a lay flat line for Pillar EFS LLC. The temporary water will go through a culvert on County Road 419 northwest of the intersection of County Road 419 and 541. Then it will enter back into the property, and a check amount of $500 has been turned over to Atascosa County Treasurer's Office. Commissioner?
Sir, thank you, I also went and looked at this, and I move for approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Riley.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Pettis. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Again, that motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Riley. Number 14, Trent Rao, discuss and take appropriate action to approve interlocal agreement between Fort Bend County and Atascosa County for medical examiner consulting services related to the new medical examiner facility and authorize county judge to sign. Mr. Rao?
Good morning. This is the interlocal agreement between Fort Bend County and Atascosa County. This is regarding Dr. Postolnik, who will be our consultant for the new medical examiner facility. Fort Bend wanted us to make that, and Dr. Postolnik is okay, make that an agreement between Fort Bend and our county. It's just basically an agreement that we're going to use Dr. Postolnik during their business hours. They're paying his salary. We're going to pay them $1,500 a month, as we were going to pay Dr. Postolnik, just to, I guess, reimburse him for his time. I would recommend, I've read it, approved it. There's a blank that needs to be filled in as far as how long we want this agreement to go. I would probably recommend that we put it off into the future, but not so far off that we can't, we're not comfortable in canceling it. When we need to, perhaps 6 months, and then we can always renew it later. So I'm requesting that be approved and signed.
I thought we already did this.
I thought we did too, actually.
Have we not?
We've approved Dr. Postolnik. We have not approved this interlocal agreement that needs to
Okay.
be signed with the county, yes.
Okay. So to add to that, the sheriff and I went to Rosenberg last Tuesday to tour the facility, and better have a strong stomach. But it is something, it is really nice facility. The administration part was really nice. The lab part was phenomenal. I mean, I guess it was pretty good. I still question the barbecue pit outside. But the place was something to see. I mean, it really was, and it was interesting. So, am I right, Sheriff? Okay, so, yeah. So, and a garden. I had a garden out there also, just to let everybody know, but
I would like to thank you for not including me on that trip.
But it was an interesting tour, and got to meet him. He's a great guy, pretty sharp, very knowledgeable, and I think he'll help us out a lot. So,
For an order, I move for approval, and after we get a second, I think Ms. Barrera would like to say something.
okay, motion made by Commissioner Gillespie, seconded by Commissioner Bowen.
And Ms. Barrera, if you don't mind, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Barrera wants to add something.
I'm sorry, Ms. Barrera.
I just have one question. In the interlocal, I looked at it, but there is an opt-out for both parties?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Yes, there's an opt-out for both parties, and with, I think, 90-day,
A 90-day?
something like that, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Rao. Number 15, discuss and take appropriate action to approve the agreement to provide heavy-duty towing service and vehicle storage for J Automotive Rebuilders Towing and Recovery LLC, and authorize the county judge to sign. Mr. Rao?
This is a contract we had previously with J Auto Rebuilders. I believe they're just requesting that we renew this, and Commissioner Gillespie had approached me about this, and so we've redone the dates, and that's the only change in the agreement.
Correct. I move for approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Gillespie.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Bowen. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. And number 16, Trent Rao, discuss take appropriate action concerning personnel. Independent contractor Megan L. Anderson, position trainer and phone extractor, pay rate $35 an hour, 30-hour max, not to exceed the remaining grant funds. Salary budget area 141-400-401, county law enforcement grant of Senate Bill 22. Start date would be August the 12th today, and physical drug test not applicable. Mr. Rao?
I have two amendments on that. Number one, the budget area should be 406, not 401. And the 30 hours max was meant to be 30 hours a week max, not just 30, that may read 30 hours total. This is for an independent contractor. Normally, this would be a vendor we wouldn't bring before the court, but because this is using grant funds, we're bringing this. This is our former phone lab person. We would want to hire her to train our current phone lab person and also help with some of the overflow. We've kind of run out of budget on the phone lab. I'm going to have some, Ms. Barrera's going to move some funds for me next meeting to pay for some software. We can't pay for some training this year, and so this would help us with that. It would be, I think we have 6,000 or 7,000 left, I believe, or anyway, we would be keeping track of that and not exceed the grant funds, and this again would be an independent contractor. She would be an independent contractor. Again, normally I wouldn't bring this, but because it's grant funds, I think we agreed we should.
Motion made by Commissioner Pettis, seconded by Commissioner Riley. Is there any discussion? Are the grant funds allowed for independent contractors like that?
Yes, because they talk about, it talks about us employing people. It doesn't say for employees.
It does talk about part-time, whether or not
I think
But
it
this
does.
is not an employee, this is an independent contractor.
It doesn't say employee. It says people we employ.
I'm good if it works.
I'm not being cute. I'm just telling you that's the wording.
I'm good if it works.
Yes.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Number 17, Trent Rao, discuss and take appropriate action concerning permission to publish notice in the Pleasant Express of public hearing related to no-through truck traffic signs in Precinct 1, Atascosa County, Texas. Mr. Rao?
This is just the preliminary stage we'll take to, we're going to publish notice in the Pleasanton Express for some no-through truck traffic signs for Precinct 1, I believe after the construction of a gas station. I'll let Commissioner Gillespie explain.
Thank you, Trent. So when they came in with the rodeo center on 37 and 97, a lot of those trucks, when they're leaving on the access road, they're taking a left instead of a right. And once they get on the access road, they're going down Cossodus Road and Crane Road. Cossodus Road has no through truck signs, but there's a low water crossing and they're getting stuck in it. And so our constable's office and the sheriff's department are giving citations when they catch them. But Crane Road has no signs, and it's a gravel road, and it's going over some cattle guards, and those cattle guards can't handle the weight of that much 18-wheeler traffic, especially the sand trucks. So I'm needing to get those signs put up on Crane Road so we can start trying to get some control out there and get them off of that area. So, yeah, I'm gonna have signs put up over there as well from them, and they agreed to it, but I need to have them, because if they go past them, then at least there's double signage, so, yes, sir. I don't think theirs would be a no-through truck as much as just maybe a no outlet or no 18-wheeler outlet or heavy truck outlet. I'm not sure what their signage would say, but we're working on that.
Okay. Did you make the motion? Right.
Move for approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Gillespie. Seconded by Commissioner Pettis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Rao. Number 18, Auditor Tracy Barrera, discuss and take appropriate action to charge the purchase of the following items to the Sheriff's Office and Jail under ARPA Fund line item number 012-487-644 for a grand total of $526,920.88. These items are attached here. I'll talk to the auditor. We don't have to read them all because it's complicated, but there's three pickups, actually, 4 Tahoes with lights and sirens and plus cleaning the ducts in the jail and jail radios and washer, dryer, and meal delivery carts, all attached. Ms. Burrow?
Yes, this was posted, that way the public was notified of everything that we were spending in, being that it's going to be used out of the ARPA funds. I just need court's approval.
Move for approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Gillespie,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Riley. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. All right. Number 19, myself and John Broccoli discuss to take appropriate action to approve the records management policy. Mr. Broccoli?
Yes, sir. Just, in order for me to be the record manager.
Well, hey, you want to come up here to the podium?
Okay.
Good try.
I'm my first time.
Good try.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
So, in order for me to commence with the destruction of documents, I have to have and be the records management officer. I need to turn in a records management policy to the state, and that requires approval. The reason the last one doesn't work, we had one, is that it specifically stated that Blake Staten was the records management officer. And so there's 2 ways we can go about it, either appoint me by name or position, whichever works best for the county.
Let's see, I guess a motion would be made, and then we can discuss it. So I'll make a motion for approval for the changes with the recommendation that we use his title, not his name.
So in the title, it would be just a record management officer. Don't put his name to it.
Correct. That way, in the event he moves or we replace him in the future, it stays with that office, not his name, and have to redo it.
Is that related in the document?
Sir?
That'll be related in the document? It'll be.
Yes, it'll be, we have I don't know if you have a copy, if you've seen it yet, but it would be, the title would be Atascosa County Deputy Fire Marshal, and then if I were to move or transfer or whatever, it would stay with that office, and you wouldn't have to do this every time. If you wanted to continue to do it each time, and say the name, it's not that difficult. But.
Okay. Should you make that motion?
With the recommendation of his title.
Stays with the title, with the position.
Right.
Right. Motion, you understand that, the motion? Okay. Motion is made by Commissioner Gillespie.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Bowen. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Brockton.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it. Okay, at this time, we have 2 items, executive session. It's 9:28 a.m. We're going to recess and move into executive session to discuss those 2 items. It is 9:40 a.m., and we've reconvened back into the regular meeting of Commissioners Court. No action was taken in executive session. We're going to go back to item number 16, Trent Rowell, discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel. Mr. Rowell?
Your Honor, I'm asking that the court rescind the motion on number 16 and then have a new proposal to request a motion on. So I'm asking if Commissioner Pettis would rescind his motion on number 16.
Yes, I'll rescind my motion.
Okay,
All right.
motion made by Commissioner Pettis to rescind number 16.
Yes.
Is there a second?
I believe so. No, it was Mr. Wiley. Right.
Rescind my second.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Riley. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor to rescind? Motion carries. Mr. Rowell, you want to take up number 16
Yes, after
again?
discussing with Ms. Barrera, it would be better if we made Ms. Anderson instead of an independent contractor, temporary part-time. And so that salary budget area, again, would be the same as announced, 141-400-406. That also would still be out of the grant money. She would just be paid as a temporary part-time as opposed to an independent contractor.
We have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Riley,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Gillespie. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Y'all got that? Okay.
Thank you, and I apologize for
All right. There was no action to be taken in any other items from executive session. Mr. Rowell's going to follow up with what we discussed. Yes. Okay. Number 23, myself and Tracy Burrow discussed take appropriate action to accept, approve any invoices and payroll. Payroll has been submitted. And the invoice, okay? Motion made by Commissioner Pettis,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Riley. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. I don't believe there's any reports today. Next item we have, number 25, comments from commissioners, no action be taken. Next Commissioners Court meeting is set for August of 26, 2024, but we will have a budget hearing on Wednesday at 9 a.m. here in this courtroom. So hopefully we're real close to tying that thing down. We've worked diligently on it to keep the tax rate the same, so that's what we're going to look at that point. Any further discussion this morning? Anybody have anything to add? Nothing? Okay. We don't have anything else?